Hey, y'all. My name is Duchess, and this is Duchess Discussions, where we talk about true crime and we talk about missing cases. Thank you guys for taking the time this evening to join me on this Thursday evening. We're going to talk about a couple of cases that have been the peak of many people's emails and Facebook messages. They have reached out and asked me to cover quite a few cases, older cases that have not been resolved, and a couple of newer cases. So I wanted to make sure that I like to always cover what you guys want me to. So anytime you reach out to me, I'm going to try to do that. I apologize. I didn't go live earlier this afternoon. My dad had to go to the doctor. He was not feeling well. My mom had to call me, and we had to kind of go through that kind of stuff. So I kind of delayed my whole painting the bathroom project. I have kills in my hair as we speak. I haven't even had a shower yet, but I didn't want to put it off any longer. And I just want to go over to the chat and say, hey, and welcome everybody in, and that I appreciate you taking some time out of your evening to join me to hear about these two cases that we're going to talk about this evening. So, hey, Arctic Fox. Speaking of Arctic Fox being the very first person in my chat, hey, checking convictions. Congratulations, Arctic Fox, on hitting 10K. Checking, can I play your video? Please, because it's fitting. I have to do it. Um, Checking's cooking, so maybe she won't strike me if I play her video. But it is an awesome video. And so before we get started, I want to play that for Arctic Fox because I am so proud of him. He works so hard to get these cases out here. So let me share my screen now. Don't strike me, checking. Please. Let me get over here and share this because we have to do this. We have to for Arctic Fox.
Congratulations.
Put some hearts and likes in the chat.
Congratulations.
You know me. I hate to say I told you so, but I did. Congratulations on the 10,000, buddy. You deserve it. Nobody does for the missing what you do. Thank you. You're so appreciated. Congratulations.
I love that so much. I had to share that with y'all. If you aren't subbed up to Checking Convictions, please go over there and sub up to her channel. She is amazing. Oh, God, it's other stuff playing in the background, but yay, Arctic! I'm so proud of you. That is just super amazing. Chris, thank you so much for being here. Chris is the one who asked me if I would talk about Mateo and Sophia Van Dam's case out of Sumter and Beaufort County, South Carolina. So that is one of the cases we're going to talk about. So thank you, Chris, for being here. Hey, Annabella. So good to see you. I got to go back up in the chat because I had to tell Arctic how much I really appreciate him. So if you're not subbed up to Arctic Fox, you definitely got to get over there and sub up. Hey, Michelle. Michelle knows I've been painting my bathroom with the kills, and I'm aggravated because it's not doing like I want it to. And it's just not going the way that I need it to operate. Hey, Rosie. So good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. And hey, Rebecca. Glad to see you. Hey, Ange, I hope you're doing good, darling. I'm so glad to see you. And thank you for being a member. Hey, Sweet D. So good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Hey, Millie. Millie's here, and Millie asked me if I would talk about Dulce Alavez. And Libby and I were talking about that. She sent me a couple of things um, on Dulce. So I'm going to actually talk about that case tonight as well. So I'm glad that you're here, Millie. Here's Heidi Cakes. She's at work, but she's going to be listening. So thank you so much for having us on while you're working. You know, it's always good to listen to these cases when you're busy doing stuff around the house because that's normally what I do. And there she is in the chat. Hey, Libby Lessons. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. So we're just going to get started with talking about this case. I'm going to put my banner up here, which just basically says, Welcome to Duchess Digital House. If you guys have not smashed the like button, please do that and feel free to share this live out. We appreciate you being respectful. In the chat, this is not an echo chamber, and we can all agree to disagree and still be adults. It would be boring if we all thought the same way. There would be no reason for us to have a stream to talk about these cases if we all had the same mind processing. So, that's why we need to talk about these things, because everybody has something that they can add or can take away when we have discussions like this. So before we get started, of course, I want to play my little copyright and sensitivity warning, just in case there happens to be anything that we talk about in this chat that has any sensitive content, in case there is any verbiage or curse words or anything. I like to just let people know that this is an 18 plus only stream. This is not for kids. So I just want to give a warning about that in case there's anything that we talk about and you have children that are listening. I just like to let people know. I can't promise that there's not going to be things that we may or may not talk about that might be triggering. And I usually try to let you guys know if I see that there's something that's going to come up. So I always play my little warning.
Warning. This episode contains content that may be disturbing or sensitive to listeners. Discretion is advised.
Okay, and of course, I'm going to just put up my copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976 for fair use purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in the favor of fair. So, the first thing I want to talk about is this recent case before we jump into these two cases very quickly, because it is a case that is also near me. And I'm sure you guys have seen this circulating on social media. So, I wanted to be sure that I shared this flyer that I was making today when I saw Arctic Fox's video. This case is about Alicia Watts. Alicia has been missing since July the 16th of 2023. And this is one of those cases where it reminds me a lot of, I hate to say it, but Carly Russell. She's traveling to go see her boyfriend, or she's gone away in her vehicle, and now the vehicle has been found. The cell phone has been found. She's not been found. However, I feel like this situation is not a Carly Russell situation. This is likely an actual situation that could be dangerous. And she's not been found. Alicia's phone last pinged in Charlotte, North Carolina. She was on her way to Charlotte for the weekend, to visit her boyfriend, James Dunmore. She was last seen traveling in her black 2023 Mercedes SUV with her boyfriend, James Dunmore. He is a Charlotte native, born and raised there. The black SUV and Watts' cell phone have since been located, and authorities are using the GPS from the vehicle and phone to develop a timeline of travel in hopes of finding her. And I was just wondering if you guys have actually heard about this case. Arctic Fox has done a short video about this case. So I wanted to just kind of make sure you guys, if you see this poster out there, if you could please share this out. The car was found just 2 days after she was last seen on the 16th. And again, it's a Mercedes Benz. It's a GLC 300. The Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department said she was possibly driving toward Moore County, where she lives. They said, and that was in a news release on Tuesday. Now, the authorities found her car in Anson County, which is about 60 miles away from her home. The family members said that her boyfriend, James Dunmore, was found unresponsive inside the car, but she wasn't found. So I know that they have questioned him. From what I understand, he is not under arrest or anything at this time. So, I'm not really sure exactly what's happening in this case. I know that one of her friends said there were too many unanswered questions from police in regards to her disappearance. They have found her car. They found this unresponsive man in the car. But now where is he at? Where is Alicia at? This is a scary case. A lot of this doesn't really make sense to me. It's just, he's passed out in the car, but where is she? Let me go over here to the chat real quick. Oh, sorry, I was reading my phone. Yeah. Arctic, yeah. Facts. Oh my goodness, sweet Dee. Well, I'll be keeping you in my prayers. Hey, Luminous, I'm glad to see you. Thanks for coming by. I can play your video? Excellent. Hey, Dragon, it's good to see you. Yeah, it's a bizarre case, y'all. And I just wanted to make sure if you see this flyer out there, please circulate this flyer. I really hope that Black and Missing, all these places have picked this up. Millie, I'm not really sure. I'm thinking that the family thinks there's something suspicious that's going on, but I know the police have interviewed him, but he is not under arrest at this time. Like I said, he was found, in the car, I guess, passed out. It doesn't say unconscious. It says passed out. So it came in first as a medical call. According to Channel 9 News, it came in as a medical call, and they found her boyfriend incoherent, and he was taken to the hospital. But they did find her phone, and they were hoping to use the GPS on the car to see where the car had been and also trace where her phone had been in hopes that it may give a lead to where she was at. But yes, I'm sure, Luminous, that I'm hoping law enforcement's keeping an eye on him, because it sounds very suspect. So this is why being truthful in a case is so important, because you want people to take these cases seriously. So if anyone has any information, please call the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department. You probably can't see the number on here because of my banner. Let me take my banner down. 704-334-1600. I've shared this out on Facebook. I'm sure Arctic has probably shared it out on Twitter. I haven't made it over to Twitter with this one yet, but I will share this out. If you see any of Alicia's flyers, please share those out for me. If you would, I would really, really be appreciative. Hey, So Sheepy, it's good to see you. Thanks for being here. Hey, JW. You think so? I hope so. It's always scary when things like this happen because you never know if somebody has kidnapped them or something nefarious has happened. I mean, yeah, I mean, I was thinking the same thing. Like, what was he overdosing? Like, why was all that happening? But I'm sure the police are gathering their information. Hopefully, they'll have a press conference, very soon. So I wanted to make sure that I did share that one with you. Now, let me take a look down here. Also, there is an active Amber Alert. Before I forget about it, or I just saw that Arctic had shared it before I came on this live stream. So I wanted to make sure that I told you guys about it. So Arctic, I'm going to play your Amber Alert video. This is the actual girl that the Amber Alert is for. Her name is Cadence Roberts. And so I'm going to take you guys over there because I do want to make sure that you guys see. Oh, there it's playing Arctic song again. And that was so cool. That was such a cool thing for you to do. Gotta get over here on this. If you guys will give me just a second to get this pulled up. From Burlington, Iowa. Burlington, Iowa. So I'm gonna share my screen so you guys can take a look at this. And if you see this information out there on the YouTube community post or on Facebook, please share this out. I will be sure to share it out on my Facebook community wall. And after I finish this live, I will make her a poster if there hasn't been one that's already put out.
What's going on, guys? This is Arctic Fox. Welcome back to the channel. We do have a breaking Amber Alert issued out of Burlington, Iowa for a 14-year-old little girl named Cadence Roberts. Cadence is 5 foot tall, 120 pounds. She was last seen wearing a red Chicago Bulls hat with a black bill and a light colored tank top shirt and shorts. Her family and friends are very concerned about her safety and well being. It is believed that this is a possible abduction situation. Again, Cadence is 5 feet tall, 120 pounds, with blonde hair and brown eyes. She has been missing since yesterday, the 26th of July, 2023. Anyone with information on Cadence or her whereabouts is asked to contact the Burlington Police Department at 319-753-8366. Guys, we all know how critical the first 24 to 48 hours are in any missing persons case. We do have an active Amber Alert here, and we need to get Cadence face out all over social media as quickly as possible. Her family's been all over Facebook making pleas to try to get their little girl's face out there. So do me a favor, guys, give the video a like. It does help more people to see Cadence' face, and the more people that see her, the better the chances are that we can find her and bring her home safe. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, consider clicking that subscribe button. It really does help the channel out. And if you ring that notification bell, you'll always be alerted whenever I post another missing persons video. The most important thing that I need for all of you to do right now is to simply click that share button, guys. Share this.
So I did share her missing poster from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I did drop her poster in there. So if you guys want to click on that, you can see a picture of her and you can share that out onto your social media. We would really be grateful if you can circulate that around. Hey, Missy Nor, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming in. So the first case that we're going to talk about is Mateo, and I think I actually have his poster up here. Let me look. Yes, I do. Right here, Matteo Van Dam. And I did find out that Van Dam is actually two separate words. I've had to do some research on this case to look more in depth because there is a lot more to it than it seems, especially looking at the mom's page on Facebook. I've been just trying to read up to see if there's any more information about Mateo or his mom, Sophia. And they were both last seen on Saturday, June the 24th of 2023 in Beaufort, South Carolina, before driving back to Sumter, South Carolina. Mateo is 2 and Sophia is 20. The family members have not heard from her since then, and law enforcement has not been able to make contact with her, and her car was located at their home. It is unclear where they might have left to go riding or to go walking. And Sumter Police Department was the original people on there. I believe at first it was actually Beaufort County that filed, a report. But from what I understand, Sophia had actually gone back to stay with her mother. So this worries me. What could have happened to this mother and son? Did she take off on her own, or what's the circumstances that she would just leave? Now, looking on the Facebook page for the family, I did see that on July the 22nd, Teresa Van Dam made a post that says, "It has now been 32 days since I last saw Sophia and Mateo. Please continue to share their story so more people are aware and see or know something about their disappearance. Please continue to lift them up in prayer." And there is an article that and I'll share that link here in the chat with you guys so that you'll have that. Let me get over here and put that in here. This is from Live 5 News. Sumter mother and son missing for almost 1 month. We want you to come home. So I'm going to pull that up right now so we can take a look at that.
This is 20-year-old Sophia Van Dam and her 2-year-old son, Mateo, who family says has been missing for 26 days now from their home in Sumter.
She wanted to come back home on the 4th. She called and said that, she spoke to my husband. Her and Mateo wanted to come home and she wanted to live at home.
Sophia's mother, Teresa Van Dam, believing the call may have stemmed from Sophia's relationship with her boyfriend, which she says was physical at times. Van Dam says her daughter and grandson decided to leave Sumter and move back home to Beaufort, South Carolina on June 4th. But weeks before they came home, she says she remembers getting a call from her daughter that caused her to worry.
Call me up and say, Mom, if I ever called you in the middle of the night, no matter what time it was, and saying, Mom, I need to come home, is it okay?
Van Dam says while her daughter was living at home, she seemed fine until the morning.
Oh, you know what? I just saw that the poster was still up. Thank you, Michelle. I'm so sorry, y'all. It's been a day. Okay, let me go back over here. I'll rewind it just a little bit.
Daughter that caused her to worry.
call me up and say, Mom, if I ever called you in the middle of the night, no matter what time it was, and saying, Mom, I need to come home, is it okay?
Van Dam says while her daughter was living at home, she seemed fine until the morning of June 21st, which was the last time Van Dam would see her daughter and grandson.
She wasn't acting right. She was sort of talking out of her head, repeating herself like 5 times.
She says in their last conversation, she worried her daughter may have been having a mental breakdown.
I asked her, I said, Sophia, I said, let me take you to the hospital. I think you may be having some type of psychotic, episode or something. She refused to let me do that.
After not being able to get in touch with her daughter for nearly a week after leaving their home in what seemed like disarray, she called Sumter police to request a wellness check on June 28th. According to Sumter police, Sophia and Mateo were nowhere to be found, but the car and Mateo's car seat were still at the home. In Sumter, I'm Kiana Jordan. Watch Fox News, Local First.
How sad. Such a precious baby. So I see Libby had said in the chat, let me get back over here. Sorry y'all about my poster faux pas. She had also recently asked her parents if she would be able to come home in case she ever needed to. The parents were concerned that the relationship with the boyfriend would go physical. Yeah. And the fact that she seemed like she was not in a good place mentally, that is very concerning. Yeah, I wish she would have gone to the hospital too. So that really concerns me. And I did drop that article from the video from Live 5 News that I just played about Mateo and Sophia. So if you guys, see this poster, please circulate it around. Hang on one second. I need to go micromanage this Doberman situation. Y'all give me just 1 second. Okay, I am back. I apologize. My dog is seeing the neighbors walking over in the yard and not happy about it. And I did see there was another article from the Beaufort Gazette, because that is originally where this case stemmed from, was out of Beaufort County. That's where I originally saw this poster. And of course, they had misspelled Mateo's name. And Libby had to let me know that his name was misspelled, and it actually came from the police department. They had that information incorrect. So I'm glad that we were able to get that information corrected. I just wonder if they have any conclusions about where she might have gone. Has anyone else seen any further updates? Hey, Chase and Justice, I'm so glad to see you, darling. Hope you're doing good. That was a good live today that you had. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's good at all. And the car was found at home. It just seems highly unlikely that this mother and child would just walk off, especially hearing her mother say that she seemed in a um, mentally stressed situation, where she wanted to take her to go get help, but she didn't want to go. Um, and it says that Sophia is the youngest of 5 children and that she and her family have never lost contact before. So that's why they are asking help from anyone that might have seen her. And it says that she grew up in Beaufort, where she graduated high school and earned a welding certificate. Most of her family and nearly everyone she knows lives in Beaufort, her sister said. The only reason that she left her hometown to go to Sumter was to live with her boyfriend, and that was about 2 months before all of this happened. Now, it did say that Mateo was born premature, but that neither he nor his mother required any daily medication, and Mateo did turn 2 in February. And, of course, Van Dam did leave Beaufort in her own vehicle, and that vehicle was found at her home in Sumter, which I'm assuming would be at her mother's place because she didn't have, her home was in Beaufort with her boyfriend. So, and the police department did say that the vehicle is now in their custody, but they declined to discuss what they called is still an active investigation. So they're not willing to discuss any further details because they're looking into everything. I really hope that they're able to get an answer quickly. There's a lot of missing people out in that Sumter area out there. So if you guys see this poster or see any information about Mateo and Sophia, please share that out on your social media. Michelle says, when my uncle went missing, law enforcement had all his information wrong. That's why I don't have faith in info that dispatchers pass on. Well, that's understandable, Michelle. That's terrible. Yeah, the mom and dad live in Beaufort. She had left Beaufort to go to Sumter to live with her boyfriend. But her car was found back in Sumter. So that means that if her car was found in Sumter, it was likely found at her well, was it back in Sumter? Was at her boyfriend's house, I guess? Oh, hang on, I've got a text. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. So let me get back over here to the chat. She left their house at 1 a.m. and then 2 days later, the car was found in her own driveway. Interesting. So they were coming back from Beaufort. That's what it says in this article. The two reportedly coming back from Beaufort before they disappeared. Her car, however, was found parked outside their home in Sumter. And that was per Ashley Jones. She is a journalist for the local news station down there. On WIS News. You think she had been home with him for those 2 days? I I understand, Millie. Like, he could have drove her car there. Why would she park it in the driveway and not go inside at all? That's a great question. None of it makes sense. There's something that we don't know that is going on in this case, and I hope that the cops know exactly what that is. When during this time was she reported missing? According to WPDE News, on this particular article that I'm looking at right now, oh, it's not letting me click on that. Why? Hello? Um, let's see. It says they were last seen June 24th when they were seen by a family friend in Beaufort. Mother and son were reportedly returning to Sumter, where they had recently moved with Van Dam's boyfriend, Jonas Jerry Washington Jr. of Burton. Sophia grew up in Beaufort and graduated from Battery Creek High School. Her parents lived there, and any detail they may have, no matter how small it may be, they need to talk to Beaufort County or Sumter, according to Teresa Van Dam, which is Sophia's mother. So Sumter police are leading the investigation with the assistance from Beaufort County Sheriff's Office. On June 28th, 4 days after they were last seen in Beaufort, Sumter police went to 47 Wilson Street to check the welfare of Sophia and Mateo, but couldn't find them. At that time, Sophia and Mateo were entered into the NCIC as missing. Last time Teresa saw Sophia and Mateo was 1 a.m. on Wednesday, June the 21st in Beaufort. She seemed confused, and Teresa wanted to take her to the hospital, but her daughter was gone when she returned home on Thursday. Now, according to this article with the Island Packet, which is a newspaper in Beaufort, South Carolina, it says, though, that someone saw them, a family friend saw them in Beaufort on June the 24th. Now, the mother saw her on the 21st. So she was seen again on the 24th, and no one has seen her since, according to this. Yeah. It's not adding up for me. As soon as I get more information on this case, or if I see any updates or anything like that, I will definitely keep you guys posted on that. Libby did send me where Jonas Jerry Washington, you sent me. Let me see if I can get over here and get that. You sent that to my email, didn't you? Let's see if I got that link. Do 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 do. Okay. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to share this with you. But first, I'm going to take down the poster this time. Y'all got to keep me in check. You've got to keep me in check, peoples. Okay, so the mugshots zone. So this is Jonas Jerry Washington, arrested 6/30/2023, right here in Beaufort County Detention. This is Sophia's boyfriend. You found 3 different mugshots at various ages. Uh-oh. He's been arrested for carjacking and a bunch of other things. Let's see what we got down here. 24 years old, Burton, South Carolina. This is fleeing to evade arrest, no bond, trespassing, no bond, and fugitive from justice warrant, non-criminal, hold fugitive maximum 20 days. Bond amount 0. So he's a little troublemaker. This does not make me feel any better about where Sophia and Mateo are. In fact, it makes me even more concerned where they might be. Does he look like he's going to talk? Does he look like he's going to be like, oh, yes, let me help you find these people? No, that's not what that looks like at all to me. I'm just saying. Well, true, Libby. He does look just pathetic, honestly. Okay, let's get it off that. I can't even focus. Yikes, y'all. Please continue to circulate this flyer or any flyer that you see for Mateo and Sophia. And I will keep you guys updated on this particular case. And thank you, Chris, for asking me to talk about this case. Again, I did share a couple of those links where you can go over and read updates about Mateo and Sophia. Again, there's 2. This is a multi-agency investigation. Sumter County, South Carolina, and Beaufort County, South Carolina are actually working this case together. Yes, Libby, you may absolutely drop the link to your video. Libby has also covered this case, so if you would like to go over there and also take a look at her video on this case, please do that. Please do that. Get it, girl. My dog sounds like she's eating somebody outside. She's tearing somebody up. I don't know what's going on out there. But I'm going to let the Duke handle it. I ain't got time today. Okay, so our next case that we want to talk about is Dulce Alavez. And this is the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children's age progression image of what Dulce might look like now. This is an actual picture of her when she was a child. I have read so many bizarre things about this case. This child was an actual Amber Alert in 2019, and I'm going to find that link so I can drop that for y'all. But of course, that Amber Alert has been suspended. I don't know if y'all know much about how the Amber Alerts that we currently have work, but after an X amount of time, they're no longer Amber Alerts. They are still active on the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. However, if the Amber Alert is not resolved within a certain designated time period, the Amber Alert is actually considered suspended. Many of you may know that that is kind of what's going on in the Summer Wells case. That's why you're not maybe seeing it as an active Amber Alert on NCMEC, but you're seeing it as an active Amber Alert on TBI. And it's because that's how the clearinghouse handles their cases. It's something that needs, in my opinion, needs to be readdressed. That's why we share the Amber Alert petition. If mods, you want to drop that, it needs to be revised, because I just feel like sometimes it's very ineffective. So I'm going to go over here and share this link for the NCMEC poster for Dulce Alavez. And again, she went missing in Bridgeton, New Jersey. And I have a little video that I'm going to pull up that we can watch about her. This is, I think, the most recent one that I've seen, which was from NBC Philadelphia, and that was in 2022. So I want to make sure we watch that one. What's your question mark, Libby? Tell me now before I change my screen. They know that. Yeah, that is interesting, isn't it? Oh, that's because I was typing. I wasn't yipping, I was typing. I'm still here, y'all. I'm still here. All right, let's go watch this video. Hang on. Okay.
Today is the 8th birthday of Dulce Maria Alavez. She is the little girl who vanished from a park in South Jersey in September of 2019. There's still no sign of Dulce or who kidnapped her. But tonight, friends and family are celebrating Dulce's birthday in a continued push to bring her home. NBC 10 Sydney Long is live at Bridgeton City Park with the very latest. Sydney.
Well,
Well, Jackie, good evening. Even though it is a smaller, little more intimate gathering, we can tell you that Dulce's loved ones, her mom, her aunt, her sister, also some friends and neighbors here from this Bridgeton community are celebrating her 8th birthday. This will be the 3rd birthday without her family. Right now, they're blowing bubbles. The plan is to eat cake. If you listen closely, they're singing some of her favorite songs from her favorite Disney movie, Moana. The plan is to keep the little girl's face and story front and center, as more recent age progression photographs could be key to solving this now 3-year-old missing child case. Today marks a bittersweet moment for Dulce's mother, Noema Alavez of Bridgeton.
Today's the day that Dulce was born, that she came into the world, and it's sad because she's not here with us.
Today marks her missing daughter, Dulce Maria's 8th birthday, and just footsteps from where the little girl disappeared. Tonight, a community celebration that has been advertised on social media, complete with balloons, singers, and a birthday cake. Organizers want nothing more than the little girl to come home. They planned a Disney Moana-themed party. It was one of Dulce's favorite movies.
Hey, go. It's difficult because we always, when she was here, we used to celebrate her birthday, sing her happy birthday in the morning, and get cake in the afternoon.
Dulce was last seen playing with her brother near the swings at Bridgeton City Park that sunny September 16th afternoon. That's when police say a man in a red van snatched her and drove off. The search for new clues and evidence has landed the little girl on the FBI's most wanted list of missing people. It has drawn criticism of what the family may or may not know. And according to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, Dulce would now look like this, a more mature child, taller and likely heavier than when she disappeared at age 5. JJ Claver is a retired FBI special agent in charge who has been guiding NBC 10 on almost every twist and turn of this case since it broke 2.5 years ago.
The age progression is a valuable tool, not just for children, but even in adult fugitive cases. So these are expert artists and people who are trained in forensics.
I want authorities to put her face out there more, and to people keep sharing her and her story.
Now, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children tells NBC 10 that the age-progressed photographs of Dulce could very much be a vital tool in bringing the little girl home, and that these types of pictures, in fact, have very much helped in other long-term cases of missing children. Mike.
Very interesting. Very interesting for sure. So she's at the park and she just disappears with her brother. And somebody thinks they seen her be put into a red van? Wow. And she is on the FBI most wanted list right here. She went missing Monday, September 16th, 2019. And there's her poster right here. Of course, here it says $5,000, but I think her reward is now $75,000 if I'm not mistaken. Wait a minute. Mom was in the car doing scratch-offs? It seems like I did read that she was not out there while they were playing. A man slapped her brother's ice cream on the floor, and that set him off crying. Yeah, I did read that. That when she looked up, she saw him. His ice cream was on the ground. He was crying. But Dulce, she was nowhere to be found. I'm just curious, who is it that said that she was put into a red van. Where do all these red herring, red vehicles come from? And I say that because, we have another case in which there's this mysterious red truck that's supposed to be involved that nobody can find. I guess the mom would have never seen that because she was busy doing scratch-offs. Dulce was last seen wearing a yellow shirt with a koala on the front, black and white pants with butterflies and flowers on them, and white dress sandals. She was 5 years old and was playing at the Bridgeton City Park behind Bridgeton High School in Bridgeton, New Jersey. From what I've understand, they've had massive manhunts for this child that have went all the way out west and all the way down to Mexico, which is where her father lives. And apparently her father is cooperating with police, and they have not found any evidence that the child is there with him. You want me to pull up the suspects' pics? All right, let me get off this. If I put in suspects, will it give that to me? This guy? What else we got? Is that the only one? I was hoping I'd be able to see a video that has it on it, but I only see the pictures. New YouTube video services of missing New Jersey girl. Is this the one? Oh gosh, a cartel? No, that's not what I was looking for. Oh, that's 41 minutes without a trace. That's got the... Okay, well, go to their site then, for goodness sake.
Okay.
Mm. So is the woman that's right there, is that the grandmother? Because that ain't the mama.
Okay.
That is the mom? That's that same girl? Well, she don't look nothing alike. She looked like an older woman when she leaned down at the ice cream machine. She looked much older in that video than she did on the video that we just saw a while ago. She hangs out with a rough crowd. Mm, that is scary. And again, this was an Amber Alert in 2019, and she's never been found. Now, the last thing that I did see about Dulce is that there was a nonprofit group that joined the search for the missing New Jersey girl. He's a nonprofit private investigator. And that was pretty much the last thing that I actually saw about it. There was this video that it was joining in the search, I guess, to help look for her. But the authorities say they remain hopeful that she is alive, noting they have found no evidence to prove otherwise. They say they have conducted hundreds of interviews and visited or communicated with law enforcement officials in 11 states and in Mexico. Yeah, Libby. Mm. Hey, Tammy. Good to see you. This case has me confused because it just rings of trafficking to me, as much as I hate to say it. Because where is the girl? If you're trying to take your kids, you would have taken both your kids, right? But the father supposedly is cooperating and doesn't have them. Something just seems weird with this. So a red van just comes by and just takes one of the children. That is just so bizarre to me. I did see an article Yeah, it looks like the reward is $75,000. I guess at one time there was a spokesperson for the family, um, said the girl's mother showed a troubling lack of emotion and motivation for finding her daughter. Jackie Rodriguez was her name. A friend who often spoke for the family in the media said this week she no longer represents the family because she grew weary of having to cajole Dulce's mother, Noema, to plead publicly for her daughter's return. Her only extended interview was with Dr. Phil in 2019. She said, I had to always convince her that she had to go in front of the cameras. She said, you have to show your face. You have to fight for your daughter. But it was just so hard all the time to get her to do an interview. I said to myself, why am I putting my face out there for someone who's not even trying to look for her child? And she said that the mother also rejected the suggestion of using social media. And it looks like the man who identified himself as Edgar Perez posted a 5-minute video of Dulce photos and clips in which he says is really sad and hurt about his daughter's disappearance and that he doesn't know where she is. He doesn't know who she is with. He doesn't even know if she's okay. And just like everyone, he wants to know where she is. And he says that he took care of Dulce as a baby and continued to see her until he was deported just before Christmas of 2018. And of course, the father was contacted in Mexico by the FBI in the days following the little girl's disappearance. And he said that he had nothing to do with it. And he's just praying that somebody will contact him to let him know that Dulce has been found. Now, she may not want to get on video or may feel funny about that because there may be a language barrier. Also, some people are shy. We can't think everything is nefarious. But that could have been why she may not have felt like she wanted to show her face. I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs and reasons that there might have been involved with her feeling that way. It's a very sad case. Another child that's gone missing, and there is not any evidence. A child just goes missing in broad daylight with a red herring, which is like a double. It sounds crazy to say it like that, but these vehicles just show up in a story and you don't really know if the vehicle's involved or not because the parents are not paying attention to the child because they're busy planting cactuses and putting on knee braces and scratch off tickets and a list of other things, but they're not watching their children. And so in broad daylight, they just walk off. And there's no evidence to what happened. I mean, is anybody getting the vibration here? I mean, this is like the same narrative of story that's happening in other cases that we've seen right here on YouTube. The parents aren't paying attention. Something else, something's happening. They turn their back for 5 minutes and boom. The kid's name is Dulce Alavez. Is that what you were asking, Chris? Let me get back up here to where Heidi Cakes is. There's an old case where someone reported a white pickup and a kid vanished. Oh, really? That's interesting. Listen, I try not to be judgmental, but in some of these cases, negligence plays a part in these children that are going missing. That's not what we want to believe initially in some of these cases. But unfortunately, sometimes it ends up being that way. And she looked like she was, a happy kid. She loved her brother. So I don't think she would have just taken off. She would have never left her brother. So that's what concerns me about it. Yeah. Negligence, Millie. She should have been keeping a better eye on her children. She should have been out there with her children. Millie, if you get any updates on this case, will you email me or Facebook message me and let me know? And we're going to continue to pray and circulate her information. I'm going to see if I can put together in the next couple of days, maybe make an updated flyer for her that we can circulate. And of course, please continue to circulate Sophia and Mateo's missing flyer as well. And thank you for letting me play the Amber Alert video from Arctic Fox, because that is still an active Amber Alert. I don't think they have been found. Amber Alerts do work. Amber Alerts do work. But sometimes it doesn't always go the way that we want them to. But we can't lose hope. And that's why we have to keep sharing these cases in the instance somebody sees something. So I will definitely work on another flyer. And if you have a case that you would like for me to share, please don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. I am going to be working on sharing another case of Jackson Brent Garcia, who was also missing from Sumter, South Carolina since 2020. I'm hoping that his mother will be reaching out to me. Her name is Angel, and I would really like for her to come up and tell us about Brent Garcia's story. But I have not heard from her yet, so hopefully she will reach out to me, and I would really like to hear more about her son's missing case, so we can learn about that. If you have a case or if you have a flyer that you would like for me to make, it's free. Just reach out to me. I'm happy to do it. And I'll be live in a couple more days, and we'll talk about some more cases. But I just wanted to bring those to you. My husband has made dinner, so I need to go have dinner with him and get back to finishing painting my bathroom. So, but I really appreciate y'all joining me for a short time here to talk about a few of these cases. And congratulations again, Arctic Fox, on reaching 10,000 subscribers. we really appreciate all the work you do in this community to help find missing people. And you are, you're a wonderful person. And I really appreciate all you do. And I appreciate you being a mod on this channel. And I appreciate all of my members and subscribers and moderators for being here this evening. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful evening. So take care, and I'll see you around on YouTube. And I'll be checking in on you guys in a couple days, and we'll have another live stream. So take care, y'all.